Now we are at the most important part of trading, besides psychology, is risk management. And this is one thing that you're going to learn very quickly if you are actually paying attention to what I'm teaching. The amount of people that really don't understand risk management. So a lot of people want instant gratification, right? Especially if you're in sales or you've been doing maybe some type of MLM or, used to living off of tips, things like that. People are usually used to instant gratification, instant pay. So they essentially want to risk more when it comes to trading. However, what people don't understand is that trading is definitely something that involves being able to manage risk. And if you do not know how to do that, besides exercising patience and discipline, you will not have a successful career um, as a trader. And that's just my opinion. You may agree or disagree. I'm not trying to sound negative. I'm here to keep it real with you guys. So, there is an awesome thing called the position size calculator on MyFX book, which already is a website that I recommend anyway. So I'm going to include the link so you can just save it and make sure you bookmark it. But this is something that will help guide you along the way as to how much you should risk for your trades. So I'm going to quickly give you an example of ratios for trading, and then we're going to use those examples in this position calculator and see what that means. Let's do this. So what I'm doing here is basically I'm just doing a 0.10, which is $1 per pip. And you do not have to do this starting off as a new trader. I'm just doing it because the math is easy. But let's say you use the max amount of stop loss, which is not the goal, but the max I said was 50 pips. But let's say that's what you're doing. And you try to do a 1-to-1 ratio. So what that means is you're essentially putting your stop loss at 50 pips and your take profit at 50 pips. So you're risking $50 to make $50. Some people are okay with that. The thing with this is if you start entering multiple trades with this mindset and you lose multiple trades, you're going to wipe your account or lose a significant amount. So I don't find it smart. It's not something that I teach to my VIP students. We actually do at least a minimum of 1 to 3, and that's just what we do. So anyway, you want to at least do a 1-to-2 ratio. Okay, so we don't want to do, I don't know if it's going to let me cross this out, but you don't want to do this, especially if you're saying you're learning from me. I don't want you saying that I taught you this. I'm just showing you. A 1-to-2 ratio is basically, let's say we're risking the max amount of pips. Our stop loss is at 50 and we're using a 0.10, which is $1 per pip. But we're looking to make twice as many pips. So we go and we analyze our market structure. We're looking for previous levels of structure, and our goal is to make 100 pips. Okay. So what this means is, let's say we were going short, which means a sell, and we put our stop loss at 50 pips, which is right here. It's going to say 50.5, but 50 pips. And our goal is 100 pips. Okay. What this means is if the pair goes in the wrong direction and you're using a 0.10, you lose $50. If you're using a 0.01, you lose $5. Okay. Now, if the trade goes in a direction you want, and let's say it's just a little bit in red, because it will be in red as long as it's up here, okay? But then all of a sudden you get a nice impulse down and it goes straight to your TP. Well, guess what? Your take profit just hit. You won $100. You risked $50, even though you didn't lose it, but you were willing to lose $50 to make $100. Okay? That is good. And the reason why I say that's good is because if you got into 2 trades and you win one, but you lose one, okay? Let me show you guys just so we can have a visual here. And I'm just doing this just rough off to make 100, right? 100 pips. So trade one wins, trade one loses. Trade one, you won $100, right? Trade two, excuse me, you lose $50. Oops, spelled it wrong. You lose $50, okay? So even though you lost one and you won one, because you're using at least a 1 to 2 risk management or ratio, excuse me, you're still up $50, okay? So you're still up $50. If you would have done a 1-to-1 ratio, risk 50 to win 50, you would have won 50 bucks, but then your next trade, if you lose, you would have lost 50 bucks and you'd have been right where you started. That defeats the purpose. It really does. It's pointless. You'll be trading, over trading, revenge trading, trying to get your money back. And the goal is to not do that. The goal is to find high probability trades. And again, at least with a 1 to 2 ratio. So you can see if we were doing a 1 to 3 ratio, this would be 150 pips, right? Because that's 3 times as much as the 50 pip stop loss, which is the highest amount. I just did that for worst case scenario. All right. But now in this one, you you win 150. So let's say with a 1 to 3 ratio, you win one trade, but you lose 2 other trades. So let's clone this. Okay. Sorry, I just like to always provide a visual. I know some of you are smart and you can catch on, but so now you won this, so you win 150, but you lose your 2 trades. You're still in the blue or the green, as you can say. You're still up 50 bucks. That is a good thing. Okay, so if you're exercising a proper risk to reward, you could lose 2 of your trades and only win 1, and you would still end in profit. Now, if you lose all 3, obviously you're going to lose money, but I would hope that you've been practicing to where you have consistency, and once you open a live account, you're able to at least be able to have these results. And again, it's going to take practice, but this is so important. And obviously, if you have a bigger ratio, that's great. If you trade smaller time frames and you're looking for less pips to win, that may help you as well. Okay. So some people like to trade the 1 hour and the 15-minute. It's completely up to you. What I'm teaching works on any time frame. You just have to see what works. And again, if you want to learn more, you can join the VIP course. So anyway, let's get to the position size calculator now that you understand risk to reward. So you can change this to the currency that you're trading right here. Okay, excuse me, your account currency. So this is just saying your broker account, what are you going to be using? I believe most of you are going to be using US dollars. Your account size. Let's say you have $200 in your accounts. And this is right here, the money. Here you go. You can sit here and determine how much you want to risk. Okay, how much are you willing to lose? So you can either do this with a percentage, which most people trade like 1 to 2%, aggressive is 2 to 5%, or you can select money. So in this case, let's say I'm willing to lose $10. Okay, so I'm willing to lose $10. That's it. I don't want to lose more than $10 on this trade. I can't afford to. And let's say my stop loss is 50 pips, which is the max that I usually run. Like, there should be no reason why anyone has more than 50 pips on a trade stop loss. If so, then yeah, there's an issue. And let's say that it's the Euro USD. Now, as far as stop loss, I do roughly average between 12 to 15 pips. And my max is like maybe 30, sometimes 40, but that's rare. But just so you know. So now I have my stop loss at 50 pips. Well, you click calculate and it's going to tell you what lot size you should use. And I don't know if you remember, but you had that sheet that I said to print out. So it's saying that you're risking 5%, okay? And this is going to be how many units, which is basically your points. So it's telling you that I'm not even going to get into that. You know what? I'm not going to confuse y'all. Just go to the risk to ratio number and lot size. I want to make this very simple. So you can see here, we're telling you to use a 0.02. And remember what we said in the earlier part of the course is that even though that looks like 2 cents per pip, that's actually 20 cents per pip. So if you're utilizing a 1-to-2 or a 1-to-3 ratio and you don't want to lose no more than $10, once you've mapped out your trade, where you want to take profit, what your stop loss is, then you come here, enter in these numbers, okay? And this is the lot size that you would have to use so that if it goes in the direction you want, great, you're going to make the money that you anticipated. If not, you already know that you were going to lose $10 anyway. So please, please, please save this. I'm going to include it on the bottom of this video. And please don't forget, if you haven't done so, subscribe to this channel and hit the bell for notifications so you know when I have new content being added. And if you're in the training, you can be updated on the new videos and webinars. All right, thanks you guys.